And a pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to the University of St. Francis, Pat Quigley Court. This afternoon we bring you the number 5 ranked University of St. Francis women against the number 1 ranked Marian University out of Indiana. Marian, of course, coming in 4-0, defending national champs. My name is Dave Dwyer. We're going to take you through this cold afternoon outside, just about a little over 30 degrees, but nice and warm here inside on Pat Quigley Court. St. Francis on the year so far, first home game this afternoon for the Lady Saints. They were on the road in Doane, Nebraska on November 3rd, a 63-61 setback. And then they took on Concordia University in Nebraska, a 96-67 loss back on the 4th. So a week of practice in between games for first-year coach Steve Brooks and company. Obviously, some things to work on, but a tall order this afternoon for the Lady Saints. We talk about Marian. They've had a few games so far this year. Wins for them on November 4th against Indiana Tech and on November 7th against Wilberforce. So they've just had 3 days off in between games. A nice run for the Saints last year in the NAIA tournament, and Marian a very long history of competing in tournaments. First year of the program, 1976. All-time record for the women is 585 wins, 447 losses. They won the whole thing back in 2015 and 16, and again in 2016, 2017. So we'll get things going here momentarily. Nice to have you aboard with us this afternoon. Starting lineups momentarily away here. Officials ready to go. Nice crowd on hand. As we said, this little bit chilly Saturday afternoon.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Summers Center for tonight's game between the Marian University Knights and our Fighting Saints. At this time, we ask you to please rise and face the flag for Julia Hinker singing our national anthem.
We'll pause now for our national anthem. right, so you have the lineups for the University of St. Francis. Ivana Markovic will start at a guard. Mary Jordan will start at another guard. Paige Geske will start at a forward. In the front court as well as Caitlin Allward. And rounding out the lineup for the University of St. Francis will be Nicole Davidson. Officials ready to go. We're about ready to go. As we said, Marian, the defending national champs, #1 ranked, coming in 2-0. I think if you're going to play a #1 team, you want to try and play them early. We've seen around college basketball last night, Division I style, at least on the men's side, you see some upsets. And a lot of times when you see these upsets, you see them early. University of Kentucky pushed last night, ultimately coming out on top, but early in the year is usually when you have an attempt with greater chances to beat a #1 seed. We'll jump it up, we're underway. Tip controlled by Marian. They'll bring it in the front court with Sorio. Sorio off that right side, top of the key. Fake three. They go down low, nice lob pass, layup good. Over the top that time they find Deja Cyrus, and it's 2-0 Marian. 9:35 left opening quarter. We'll play 4 10-minute quarters here this afternoon. St. Francis back the other way, top of the circle down the lane, running layup up, no good that time by Caitlin Allward. But St. Francis with the rebound, and they'll reset the offense. Marian, man-to-man defense. Shot clock down to 16. Tipped out of bounds by Marian, but will stay with St. Francis. So let's see what the out-of-bounds play looks like here for the University of St. Francis. Coach Brooks calls out his signal. They'll look. They'll get it into the post. Shot up, good and a foul. Nice job that time by Kate Allward out of Elmwood Park. And she'll have a chance to complete the three-point play and give St. Francis an early lead. Over at the line. Free throw is up and free throw is good. She has 3. And the Saints with an early 3-2 lead over Marian. 1 minute in the books here on this Saturday afternoon. Marian back the other way. Guard drives, kicks out, 3-ball up in the corner, rim it up, good. Rachel Titzer hits the 3. And now Marian up 5-3. St. Francis back the other way, ball stolen by Marian. Turnover there for the Saints. And Marian will get things going. Drive to the basket by Marian, shot up and good by their point guard, Joanna Sorio. And that was an easy bucket all the way to the basket. And when you look up just like that, it's 7-3 Marian with 8:15 left opening quarter here from Pat Quigley Court. Marian's obviously #1 for a reason. They look pretty sharp early. St. Francis drive to the bucket, layup rimmed out, no good. Offensive rebound though for St. Francis. They turn it over. Here comes Marian back the other way, running layup, no good. Rebound on the floor goes to St. Francis. Markovic with it in the front court. Fana passes it around. Mary Jordan. They go left side now. Paige Geske. 3-ball in the corner is up, no good that time by Caitlin Allward. And Marian back the other way with a 7-3 lead with 7:30 left opening quarter here. St. Francis women's basketball here on the University of St. Francis Sports Network. Sorio runs this offense with a senior. Kicks it left side, they go down in the post, layup good. Real nice job, Marian, working that ball around the perimeter, and that's the second time they found Cyrus down low for an easy layup. Back the other way comes St. Francis. trying to work the high-low game, trailing Marian 9-3 with 6:50 left in the opening quarter here. Drive to the bucket, nice up and under, but couldn't finish a shot that time. Very Jordan, here comes Marian, and they are on the push. Skip pass, 3-ball up, no good. Rebound to St. Francis. Saints will try and cut into a 9-3 deficit. Come back the other way. Wide open three is up, missed again that time, and St. Francis can't find their shooting touch so far. Caitlin Allward missed the three. Marian back the other way, floater, no good. St. Francis the rebound in the person of Cage Geske. Nice pass, layup, no good, but a foul. Real nice job on the secondary break by St. Francis. Nicole Davidson couldn't finish, but she'll go to the line to shoot a couple free throws here. St. Francis so far on the year from the free throw line, just 51%. So I'm sure that's an area they wanted to work on, and they knocked down the first one. Marian, 2 substitutes in early. Point guard Sir Ariel will take a seat. Coming in for them is going to be 14, Ellie Williams. Second free throw is good, so 2 for 2 on the free throws that time by Nicole Davidson. Marian up 9-5, 6 minutes left here, opening quarter. Marian swings that ball around the perimeter. They go down on the post. Nice back cut pass and layup good by Cyrus again. She has 6 and has made herself available down on the block. 11-5 the score. Marian on top of St. Francis. St. Francis back the other way. Layup up, layup good. Nice drive that time by Kate Allward. And it's just a 4-point deficit at this point. You're going to have to find a way to get some stops down on this end. Marian with it. Working into the perimeter, going to post. Nice defense there. But a foul was called. That's the third or fourth time they found Cyrus down on the block. They tried the high-low game, and that time St. Francis cut over, but a foul was committed. Saints substitution coming in for them. Adriana Acosta of the Joliet Catholic. And sitting down for the Saints will be Nicole Davidson. 5:09 left opening quarter, 11-7, number 1 ranked Marian with the lead in the ball over number 5 ranked St. Francis. Said the Saints 0-2, first home game here this afternoon for them at Pat Quigley Court. Marian working the offense, shot clock down to 10. Down in the post they go. Could have been a walk, and it was. Nice call by the official. Steps there by Ellie Williams, just in the game for them out of Columbus, Indiana. Little token full court pressure shown by Marian, and St. Francis will bring it up. Ball brought up right now by Mary Jordan. 3-ball up. Rimming no good by Jordan, rebound Marian. Here they come on the push, into the front court, hesitation, dribble, shot up, no. Foul called, Jordan went for the strip, and they called the reach-in foul, so it should be free throw time for Marian in the person of Kirkhoff. So it'll be 1-and-1 time for them. First free throw is up, no good. Second one will be forthcoming. Second free throw is up and good. So with 4:19 left opening quarter, Marian up 12-7 over the University of St. Francis. Saints get it up in the front court. After the free throws. Drive on the baseline, nice job by Marian cutting it off, but able to get a shot up and get to the line is Kate Allward. So she'll make another appearance at the free throw line here. With 4:01 left opening quarter, and the Saints find themselves down 12-7. First free throw is up and good. She'll have another one coming in for St. Francis now. Substitute. Marian gets her point guard back in. Joanna Osorio. After a brief break. Looks at things early. She does a nice job running their offense. Second free throw up and good. Now the deficit's down to 3. 12-9 with 3:55 left opening quarter here. University of St. Francis women from Pat Quigley Court. I'm Dave Dwyer. Thanks for joining us here this afternoon. Ball tipped out of bounds by St. Francis. Nice work defensively that time by Allward. Marian looking to get it in. They get it in with 18 on the shot clock. Dribbling on the right side is Downard. Now top of the key all the way down. Shot up, no good. And then the rebound to St. Francis. Here they come in the front court. They get it ahead. Left side, 3 ball is up and short that time by Allward. Here comes Marian back on the run. Solario, 3-point shot up, no good. And they'll come back the other way. Ball's out of bounds to St. Francis. 3:18 left opening period here from Pat Quigley Court, University of St. Francis Rec Center. Saints still down 3. Nice drive to the bucket. Layup good by Caitlin Allward. So she's been very aggressive this afternoon. Saints just down 1 and they get a steal. Marian tried a long pass and St. Francis steal and trying to look to get their second lead of this afternoon. Top of the circle, 3 ball up, 3 ball winning good. Mary Jordan with the 3 and St. Francis up 14-12 with 2:40 left opening period here. So they've taken the initial punch from Marian and bounced right back. Marian drives to the bucket, no good on the shot that time by Downard. St. Francis the rebound in the person of Giesky. And we get a whistle on the floor. And it's going to be a turnover against St. Francis. So we'll come back the other way. St. Francis the lead with 2:24 left opening period here, 14-12 on this Saturday afternoon. Sario with it, gets it down in the post. They go back in the post, top of the key they go now. Kirchhoff with it, and she traveled. So the Saints will get the ball back with 2:09 left and a 2-point lead opening period here from Pat Quigley Court. St. Francis in the front court. Drive to the bucket, shot up, no, but we're going to get an offensive foul and it's going to be waved off. Caitlin Allward with the drive to the bucket and a nice job by Marian being aware of her drive and stepping in, taking the charge. Markovic back in for St. Francis. 14-12 St. Francis, just 1:57 left opening period here from the Sully Center, Pat Quigley Court. Drive to the bucket by Marian, layup up, layup good. Again, very easy that time for Joanna Osorio. She has 4. She's actually out of Portugal. Defense for Marian starting to extend a little bit to 3-quarter court. St. Francis in the front court. Shot clock down to 12. Way out high. With the ball is Jordan. She fires up a shot, no good. Osorio the ball. On the push for Marian. Osorio looking. Left side they go, down on the block, and we're going to get a whistle on a foul on St. Francis. Ellie Williams had the ball on the block, and she was fouled. That's going to be team foul number 3 against St. Francis, actually 4. And Marian with 3 non-shooting fouls. The ball will be on the floor, substitute in. For St. Francis, it'll be Paige Gieske will come in, and Carrie Jordan will take a seat with 1:02 left. Officials want to have a brief meeting of the minds here. 14-14, 1:02 left, opening quarter here. See what kind of out-of-bounds play they have. About an 8-footer. For Marian, no good. Rebound to St. Francis in the person of Gieske. Comes in the front court, under a minute to play. They look on the perimeter. Spin move, shot up, wild, no good. Put back up by St. Francis, no good. And the rebound to Marian. Adriana Koska had a nice look on that putback, but just couldn't get it to fall. Sorio with it. Top of the key, 15-footer by Marian, rims in that time by Karen Jones, and off the bench out of Pittsboro, Indiana. 20 seconds left in the period, Marian up 2. Almost a steal by Marian, and St. Francis gets it back. Nice job by Markovic fighting for the ball. 3 ball up, 3 ball good. With 6 seconds left by Kaylin Allward. Marian's going to have to hurry. Long 3 at the buzzer, no good. We've played 1 period of play. And after 1 period of play, University of St. Francis 17, number 1 rated Marian 16. Back with second period action momentarily. The initial lead early in the first period, then Marian at times took a 6-7 point lead, but nice effort by the Lady Saints to get back into this one and find themselves up 1 after 1 period of play. So 10 more minutes and then we'll take things to halftime. Ball belongs to St. Francis to start this next period. Right side they go, Markovic, top of the circle. Marian still in that man-to-man defense. St. Francis doing some cutting. Shot up and good off the board. Nice job that time by Ivana Markovic. The Glenbard South with the bucket. Saints' largest lead at 3, 19-16, and we get a travel against Marian. Trying to do too much that time was Jason Cyrus. And we'll they'll see if St. Francis can take advantage of the turnover. A little bit of token pressure here by Marian. St. Francis left side. Top of the circle with 20 to shoot. 9-12 left in the half. Saints up 3, trying to extend. Top of the circle they go to Gieske. Down low, layup up, layup good. Nice job that time by Adrian Acosta. And the Saints with their largest lead now at 21-16 over number 1 rated Marian. 8:50 left, opening half here from Quigley Court. They go down on the post, shot up, good, and a foul. Foul's going to be against Acosta, and Cyrus again with her 8th point, going to the line, looking to complete a 3-point play. They have not had an answer for her on that high-low game. At one point, somebody stepped in and took a foul, but besides that, that's been available for Marian. She missed the shot, but Marian gets the offensive board, and they'll have a chance to cut within 1 or tie with a 3. Sorio drive to the bucket. She's cut off. Nice job defensively that time by Markovic. They kick it out. Back to Sorio in the corner. Sorio, a long 3, rims out, no good. Rebound to St. Francis. Costa, Adriana Costa doing a lot of little things out there this afternoon. Good for head coach Steve Brooks. Cut to the bucket, layup no good that time by Nicole Davidson. Here comes Marian on the push back the other way. Sorio slows him down and wants to run the offense. Sorio gets it off right side. They go down on the block again. Hook shot up, hook shot good. Nice basket that time by 23 for Marian. Karen Jones. So the post defense has been an area of concern for St. Francis here this afternoon. They are just up 1, 21-20 over Marian with 7:30 left opening half. Saints, top of the circle, long 3 fired up that time by Ivana Markovic. Offensive board to St. Francis. They almost throw it away. And ball tipped out of bounds by Marian, but it'll stay with St. Francis. Coming back in. Kayla Allward for St. Francis. And she will give a break to Adriana Acosta, who's had a lot of hustle plays here early in the game. Whistle by the official. Stop and play. See what this is all about. Comes over to the score table with 7 minutes, 11 seconds left in the half. Well, not sure what that was about because game clock's still at 7:11. The shot clock was at 26. It's down to 15. So they did not reset it. That's why we had the stoppage in play. St. Francis in the post. They get it back up top. Left side they go. Nice trap by Marian. Shot up, no good by St. Francis. Ball comes to Marian. Marian back in the front court. Nice drive to the bucket. Shot up, no good that time. And the rebound to St. Francis. Rachel Titzer with a nice drive to the bucket, but could not convert. Now St. Francis clinging to that 21-20 lead. Works the ball around the perimeter. Top of the circle they go. A 3 ball is put up. Bring it up. 3 points for Kayla Allward. And the Saints lead is 24-20 with 6:15 left in the half. Marian on a drive. We're going to get a foul against St. Francis. And that'll be team foul number 2 of this quarter. And it'll be ball underneath to Marian as Marian gets a sub in. They'll get Abby Downward in, and she will give Joanna Sorio a break here with 6:11 left. That break will not be too long, I'm sure. High-low game, layup up, missed that time by Cyrus. St. Francis comes out of there with the board. Real nice high-low game. She just could not convert. And the Saints look to add to their 24-20 lead with 5:55 left here in the opening half from Pat Quigley Court, the Sully Center. First home game for the Lady Saints. Toe-to-toe so far with number 1 Marian. Lob pass in the post, not high enough, and it was stolen away by Marian. Gieske just didn't get enough on that basketball on the pass down to the post. Marian going to run a set play. Drive down to the bucket, about a 12-foot turnaround is good for Jesus Cyrus. And she's at double digits already with 10 of Marian's 22 points. 24-22. St. Francis just a tick over 5 minutes to play opening half here. Ball tipped out of bounds, it'll stay with St. Francis. Substitute looking to come in. And they will let the substitute come in. It's going to be Leah Sims out of South Shore. And she'll be into the ball game. Sims, 5'3" freshman. Almost a walk on St. Francis. Drive to the bucket, no, but Ivana Markovic will go to the line and shoot a couple free throws, fouled on her drive to the basket. 5:05 left opening half here. Markovic's free throw is up no good, and as we said, the Saints on the early season just 51% from the free throw line, an area Coach Brooks is definitely, I'm sure, working on and wanting to improve. Second one is up and good. The lead is 3, 25-22. 5 minutes to play opening half here from University of St. Francis. Marian tried to run a backdoor cut. Ball almost stolen by St. Francis. Back to Marian with 16 seconds on the shot clock. They fire up a shot, no good. Ball loose on the floor. St. Francis out of it with numbers. They pass ahead. Layup up, layup no good. But tipped out of there. Davidson kept it alive. Davidson on the baseline. Layup up, no good. She missed it. On a nice find by Allward. She just couldn't get it in. And a timeout by Marian here. Their first. It'll be a short timeout with just 4:28 left in the half. St. Francis finds themselves up 25-22. A lot of action today. A lot of high school football in the area. Lincoln Way West up early against Batavia, 10-0 with 6:12 in the first quarter. Of course, big college football game tonight. Notre Dame and Miami. And the St. Francis men underway right now over at Joliet Memorial Stadium, fighting Saints football. We'll get some updates on that game. We'll let you know how that goes as well. Biggest upset in major men's college basketball last night, without a doubt, was Indiana State beating University of Indiana 90-69. So, basketball underway. Good to see college basketball back. Marian with it out of the timeout, trailing by 3. 3 ball is up, 3 ball is good. That was a long 3 that time by Kelly Kirchhoff out of Indianapolis. We're tied at 25 with 4:05 left to play in the half. St. Francis had a lead, and that lead is gone. Drive to the bucket, no, but going to the line will be St. Francis to shoot free throws. Straight up 4 minutes to play in the half. We are tied at 25. University of St. Francis against number 1 ranked Marian Knights women's basketball. Marian out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Marian will get a substitute in here. Ellie Williams will come back in. The sophomore forward, 6 foot. And St. Francis made one, so they go back up one. And Marian back the other way. And we're going to get a double dribble against Marian. It'll go over to St. Francis. So I'm sure at halftime, Coach Brooks for St. Francis is going to talk about that high-low game Marian's had a lot of success for finding Deja Cyrus down on the low block. They're going to have to get some help on that or more ball pressure to eliminate that passing angle. Sims with it in trouble for St. Francis, gives it up. Markovic drives all the way to the bucket. Wild shot up, no good. Tip, no good. Marian out of there with it. They'll come into the front court with 3:25 left in the half. St. Francis up 26-25. Sorio, their point guard, a long stay on the bench. She's been on the side there since about the 6-minute mark. Shot up no time by Cyrus, no good. St. Francis with the rebound. Sims will bring it up for them. Leah Sims, a freshman out of South Shore. Loses her dribble. Shot clock down to 14. On the drive, Allward. Clock down to 3. Shot up, bring it up. Ivana Markovic with the 2-point shot. The lead is 3 for St. Francis with 2:35 left in the half. Come back the other way. They looked at that high-low game on the block again. Layup good by Cyrus. She's been making a living down there, and as I said, I'm sure Coach Brooks is going to address that high-low game because she has 15 points of their 27 here in this first half, exclusively because of that high-low entry game. Drive on the block. St. Francis fadeaway shot short that time by Acosta, who's back in. And now Marian down 28-27, looking to take the lead. Just over a minute to play. 3-ball up, 3-ball good. Abby downward, and with 1:45 left in the half, Marian's back up 30-28. St. Francis missed, Marian on the run. Shot up, no, but free throw time going to be coming up for Abby Downard. And Downard's given them a little bit of a spark here the last few minutes, just nailing that 3 and running the floor, getting a free throw opportunity here. St. Francis was up 17-16 after 1. And they were on top until this 1:45 mark of the second quarter. Marian taking the 30-28 lead. Free throw is up. First one no good. Official taking some time here, making sure everybody's right on the thing. Free throw up and good. So Marian with a 4-point lead now, 32-28, 1:30 left in the half. St. Francis back the other way. We'll go on the block, double team created by Marian. And turnover Marian, here they come in the front court. Drive all the way to the bucket. Pass off, ball loose on the floor, and we can get a jump ball or a foul. Ball's going to go over to St. Francis. So we're going to get a foul against Marian. Sorio will come back in here for this last 109, and Marian up 32-28. Sims will bring it up for St. Francis. Then Sorio. They go left side to Allward. Right side they have it. Top of the circle. Left side again, Allward. St. Francis taking their time, but shot clock down to 10. Clock down to 5. Long 16-footer knocked down by Adriana Acosta. And St. Francis down 32-30, which is 35 seconds left in the half. And contact, no foul called. Marian with it. Cut in the post. Guess who's got it? It's Cyrus, and there's a whistle and a foul on the floor before she shot. So Marian will have it out of bounds underneath their own basket, which is 25 seconds left in the half. Thanks for joining us here this afternoon, University of St. Francis Athletic Network. I'm Dave Dwyer. And ball tipped, almost stolen by St. Francis. No shot clock. Let's see if now St. Francis is steal. It's loose on the floor. We're going to get a jump ball, alternating possession. We'll stay with Marian, which is 16 seconds left in the half. And with a 2-point lead, I am sure they will attempt to hold for one. Marian with it, trying to hold. Token pressure by St. Francis, clock down to 9. 8. Now the dribble drive. Shot up, no good. We're going to whistle and a charge against Marian with 3.3 left. So nice job by Acosta stepping in, taking the charge against Kelly Kirchhoff. Just 3 seconds for St. Francis to work the floor. They get it in, a running start for Allward. She fires up a half-court shot at the buzzer, no good. We played one half of basketball here from the University of St. Francis. And your halftime score is 32-30, Marian on top of the University of St. Francis. We're going to step aside. We'll catch you back in about 15 minutes with third quarter action. Once again, that halftime score, Marian 32, University of St. Francis 30, back with third quarter action in just about 15 minutes. You're listening to the University of St. Francis Athletic Network. Welcome back. University of St. Francis, Pat Quigley Court. Second half action about ready to go. Just 1 minute till third quarter action underway. First half, after one period of play, St. Francis was up 17-16. Marian was up 30-28 with 1:45 left in the half. St. Francis led from the end of the first period all the way to 1:45 left in the half. Then that put us to where we are, 32-30, Marian. And shortly we'll get things underway with third quarter action. We'll see what adjustments were made. We talked about in the first half, Coach Brooks for St. Francis is going to have to do something about that high-low game. Deja Cyrus, 15 points in that first half, just about half the points for Marian, making a living on that high-low game and getting to the free throw line. So we'll see what adjustments are forthcoming for both sides here as we get third quarter action ready to go here. Here's starters will be back for both teams. And we'll have 20 more minutes of basketball to see if number one Marian can hang on or if St. Francis gives number one Marian their first loss. As we said earlier, Marian 2-0 on the young year. Victory on November 4th over Indiana Tech and November 7th over Wilberforce. St. Francis, their first home game today. 2 games so far. A tough loss their first game against Dolan, Nebraska, 63-61. And then on the 4th of November, the next day, a loss 96-67. That game was in the Concord, Nebraska Cattle Classic Tournament in beautiful Nebraska. Third quarter action underway. Layup up on the drive, no good by Caitlin Allward. Rebound, Marian. St. Francis a little bit of pressure. Marian's going to have to hurry to get it over. And Solario, the point guard, ensures that happens. Cyrus, top of the circle. Solario, 3, no good. Actually, that 3 taken by Jones for Marian. So just a 2-point deficit for St. Francis here in quarter number 3. DC gets it over in the corner to Allward. Her 3, no good. Nice effort, put back up and good on the offensive board by Jeremy Jordan, and we're tied at 32. Marian back the other way. There's that high-low game again. Layup up, layup good by Cyrus. So they found her again. As I said, she has 17, and they've not found an answer for her. St. Francis back the other way. Jordan with it. Sorio the steal. Nice ball boy. Sorio 2-on-1 all the way to the bucket. Up good and a foul. Nice drive that time by Joanna Sorio. And she'll have a chance to complete the 3-point play, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point lead for Marian. Just 30 seconds ago, we were tied at 32. Sorio at the line, free throw up and good. It said Sorio from Portugal and Renee Van Hasselt from the Netherlands. So a little overseas flair for Marian. St. Francis on the miss that time by Allward. Sorio in the front court hesitation, top of the key, drives down, now sets up the offense. And you might think a bucket here. We're probably going to see a Steve Brooks timeout. Pass on the baseline, shot up, reverse, no good that time by Kirchhoff. And St. Francis has possession with 7:55 left in the third. Lady Saints down 37-32 here on the St. Francis Athletic Department Network. Marian much more aggressive here defensively here in this third quarter. All the way in the post, shot up, steal away. Marian on the run. Cyrus all the way to the bucket, layup up, layup good, and there's that timeout we aforementioned would be coming by Steve Brooks with 7:30 left in the third, 39-32 Marian. And they are on a 7-0 run here in this last 1 minute and 30 seconds. St. Francis out early in the third, tied it with a bucket. And since then, it's been a 7-0 run by Marian, spurred on by their defense in the half court. St. Francis not able to find a solution for Deja Cyrus. Just 5'9", but Cyrus down low, causing all kinds of fits for them. So we'll see what happens here on the timeout. Timeout done. We'll get going here in a minute. And we'll see if that timeout did Coach Brooks and company anything for St. Francis. Especially in a game of runs, you gotta try and stop those and reverse the trends. In this case, especially when you're looking at a number 1 ranked Marian women's basketball team out of Indianapolis. St. Francis ball out of the timeout. Intense pressure in the half court. Shot up, no good. Tipped out of bounds, and it'll stay St. Francis ball with 7:07 left in the third quarter. St. Francis ball. Let's see what kind of play design here. It's taking them a long time to get it in. Almost a 5-second call. They just do get it in to Caitlin Allward. On the corner, fake 3. Kick back to Allward. Loses her dribble. And 5-second count on, and she just gets it away. Give and go back to Allward. Shot up. Good and a foul. They're going to count it. So nice break there for St. Francis on the continuation. I wouldn't have counted that, but we want to see the home team do well, so count the bucket by Allward. She'll go to the line to try and complete the 3-point play. We have a whistle on the floor. Marian's coach, Katie Gerald's talking to the official. Pointing out something, and one shot forthcoming here. It is good. 6:45 left in the third, 39-35. Marian's lead over St. Francis. Now you got to get greedy if you're St. Francis on the defensive end. You need to get some stops. Penetration down the lane, no, but going the line is going to be Kelly Kirchhoff. And the foul is going to be against St. Francis. So, a couple things today that stand out is the high-low game of Marian, giving St. Francis trouble, and the dribble penetration from the top of the key. Although the free throw missed there. Adriana Acosta will come back in the ball game for St. Francis. She will give a blow to Jordan. Free throw up and good, so they make 1 of 2. Marian's leads at 39-36, 6:30 left in the third quarter. Now full court pressure by Marian. St. Francis breaks it. Up top they go to Markovic. Markovic almost has it stolen away by Cyrus. 16 seconds on the shot clock. St. Francis another hard time getting it in. You got to give Marian some credit at some point. Defensively, they have really turned it up here in this third quarter. St. Francis with the ball. Drive down the lane, the layup good by Gieske. And now they're down just 2. But back the other way, layup good by Cyrus, who has 18 to lead Marian here this afternoon, and Marian goes back up 42-37, 5:40 left in the third quarter. St. Francis trying to play the high-low game on the baseline, feeding the cutter. Nice pass, nice layup by Gieske. Good two-man game between Gieske and Allward. Marian back the other way, missed. Nice defense. Rebound goes to Acosta. St. Francis back the other way. Both teams with 4 timeouts left. That's a key note as we get in the later stages of this third and the fourth period. Ball in the corner, dribble drive. Layup up, layup good. Markovic on a real nice drive. And it's 42-41. Marian's lead cut to 1. So St. Francis keeps fighting back here today. Marian top of the circle, thought about a 3, now floater down the lane short that time. Jones with the miss, St. Francis with the rebound could tie or take the lead on this trip. Allward, top of the circle. Davidson high-low game. Acosta shot up, no. But Acosta, Adrian, is going to go to the line and shoot 2 with a chance to make it a tie or a lead for St. Francis. Free throw is up and good. We're tied at 42. With 4:24 left in the third. So it's amazing how we got here. We were tied at 32 with 9 minutes left in the third. Marian then took a 7-point lead, and now St. Francis has come back. And they've not taken the lead because Acosta stepped over the line on the free throw attempt. So with 4:24 left in the third, we're tied at 42 here. From the University of St. Francis, Pat Quigley Court, the Sully Center. Now Marian will bring it up. St. Francis, a couple good defensive efforts the last few times down the floor, which has helped them get back in this one. Drive down the line, shot up no good, good defense again. That time stepping in was Caitlin Allward, and St. Francis looking to take the lead for the first time in a long time. Drive down the lane, dump it off, shot clock down to 12. Spin, shot, no good that time by Allward, and Marian back the other way. They go in the post, on the cutter. Shot up, missed. St. Francis with it, another chance to try and take the lead. They go in the corner. With the basketball is Markovic. Markovic looking, loses her dribble. Right side they go. Shot clock down to 7. Down on the block they go. Shot up, rimming in that time by Caitlin Allward. St. Francis up 42-44 with 2:50 left in the third. Their first lead since 1:45 left in the half. Marian give and go, layup good. Nice back screen, not defended particularly well that time. St. Francis back the other way. Drive, shot up, good and a foul. Count the bucket by Caitlin Allward. And she'll go to the line to complete the three-point play. 2:31 left in the third. Both team substitutes coming in. At this point, with a tight game, you want to have everybody fresh for those last 10 minutes in the fourth quarter, which will be coming up. Free throw is up and no good. And we talked about it, St. Francis coming in just 51% from the line through 2 games. Marian down 2 here. I'm not sure if Marian's been down all year, let alone as much as they have here today. 3-pointer up by Marian, no good. Nicole Davidson, nice box out, and St. Francis with it. In the ball game for St. Francis, Cody Brand out of Woodstock. Shot up that time, rimming no good. Put back up by Acosta, no good. She had another shot, no good. Here comes Marian on the run, Sorio. They go down in the post. Shot is up, missed by Marian, and the offensive rebound, or defensive rebound, Paige Gieske. 1:30 left in the third. St. Francis up 2. Top of the circle, they have it. 2 players from Marian waiting to check in at the next dead ball here as we are very late. Period number 3, reach-in foul against Marian. And that'll get side out. That'll get the 2 players in for Marian. It'll be Kate Emsenberger, 5'5", out of Pekin, Indiana. And number 15, Rachel Titzer, will come back in out of Indianapolis. St. Francis will get Brand out of there. She's just in for a brief stint. And with 1:17 left in the third, St. Francis up 46-44 and has the ball. Hesitation, they look on the right side down in the post. Shot clock down to 19. Long 2 fired up and good. Caitlin Ower, who's had her shooting touch here today. St. Francis up by 4, under a minute to play in the third. Sorio, drive, bucket, foul. So it seems like whenever they need a bucket, their point guard, Joanna Sorio, seems to find a way to get to the line or get a basket. Free throw up, good. She makes a 3-point play. Back the other way. St. Francis with it. Up 2. Shot up, good, and a foul. Nice penetration that time in the bucket made by Nicole Davidson, and she'll have a chance for a 3-point play. So back and forth we've gone on this Saturday afternoon. Glad you could join us here from the University of St. Francis Pat Quigley Court, the Sully Center. I'm Dave Dwyer. And going to get a much needed rest here is going to be Caitlin Allward. So she is going to be ready for that fourth quarter. Free throw up and good. St. Francis up 4 with 35 seconds left to play in the third period. Sorio with it. Sorio loses the dribble, passes it left side, nice cut, pass, foul on St. Francis. They wanted a block because it's going to be a foul, and it should be a shooting opportunity for Marian. So we'll see what happens here. Free throw time. Free throw up and good. 2-point St. lead. Down to 12. Stolen. Sorio with it. 9 seconds left. Sorio all the way to the bucket. No, but she'll go to the line with 6.5 left in the third, and she'll try and tie it. Free throw is up. Free throw no good. And we get a whistle. Officials, two of them are going to talk. They weren't ready, so now we'll shoot free throw number 2. Ball stolen by Marian. They get it in with 5. Stolen back by St. Francis. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. And it's going to be against St. Francis, against Nicole Davidson. I believe, or no, they're going to say Davidson was fouled. So Davidson's going to go to the line here. St. Francis up 150 with 4 seconds left in the third. Free throw is up and good. And it'll extend the lead to 2. Davidson's second free throw is up. And good again. Marian, 4 seconds left, down 3. And they put up a 3 at the buzzer, and it's no good. It's been a good one. We played 3 from Pat Quigley Court. The score, St. Francis women 53, number 1 Marian 50. Back with fourth quarter action after this 1-minute timeout. Fourth quarter action ready to go. As you can hear Katy Perry music in the background from the University of St. Francis. St. Francis up 53-50 over number 1 Marian. Can they pull the upset today and take down number 1? We'll find out in the next 10 minutes here. Good time had by all here this afternoon. Cold outside, warm on the inside. Kind of like a fresh baked cookie. We get fourth quarter action underway here. Sorio back in, running things for Marian. And I'm sure we're going to see more of Deja Cyrus. There's about 20 points for them. There's Cyrus on the block. They go right down to her. Shot up, no good. St. Francis with it back the other way. Pass ahead, way up good. Nice drive by Nicole Davidson. St. Francis up 5, with just 9:30 left. Marian's been in this position many times. They don't get nervous, they just keep playing. Karen Jones with the shot up, and the 5'10 junior was fouled, so she will go to the line. Free throw is up. Free throw is good. St. Francis back in the ball game is Mary Jordan. And Paige Easky will sit down. Free throw up and good. Marian down 55-53 it should be, with 9:26 left. Marian a little token pressure, and it'll be interesting to see if that increases as this fourth quarter moves on. Jordan with the ball for St. Francis, running the offense right now. Markovic with it. Coach Brooks running some clock here. Shot clock down to 7. Shot clock down to 4. 3. Shot up at the end of the clock. No good that time by Jordan. Took a little too long for the St. offense to get things set up that possession. Marian, Sorio dumps it off. In the post they go. Hook shot up that time by Cyrus. No good. Rebound by Acosta. St. Francis back the other way, and with 8:30 left in the game and a 3-point lead, selective. Nice cut, layup, good. Nicole Davidson's come to life here in this second half and had some key buckets for the Saints. They're up 57-52 with 8:15 left. Marian, shot on the baseline, rimming no good. Tough rebound, and we're going to get a walking call against Cyrus. So the last 3 times Cyrus has had the basketball, not a positive result for Marian. She has done a lot of good things for them up until this point. St. Francis with it in the front court. He said both teams 4 timeouts left. And St. Francis working on that clock with a 5-point lead. Under 7 minutes, or under 8 minutes to play here. 7:50 left. Shot clock down to 9. Nice cut. Shot up and good. So a lot of back cutting used by St. Francis here. Timeout Marian. They find themselves in an unfamiliar position, down 59-57 with 7:40 left in this one, and they have to burn a timeout. Down 59-52 the score. USF with a little bit of time left. Marian's coach calling that timeout. You know, you talk about Marian and we talked about their history. Been around since 75-76. NAI tournament appearances. They've had 4. They've won it all the last 2 years in a row. Head coach Katie Geralds, her 4th season, and with her arrivals come a lot of their big success. There are 111-31 since she's taken over. She's a graduate of Purdue University. Talked about them and their play. Sorio for them plays about 8 minutes a game. Their point guard averages 7 points a game. Leading scorer for them is Kirkhoff. So the contribution today by Cyrus, who just averages 7.8 a game, is a lot more than they're normally used to. 7:40 left in this one. Marian with the ball out of the timeout. Marian looking to go in the post. Offensive foul against Marian. So they were trying to set up the play to Cyrus, and I can't blame them out of the timeout because that's been their bread and butter most of the day. But it's going to be a turnover. St. Francis with it, 7-point lead, 7:20 left. Working some clock. You want to get this down to about 10 and then get in your offense, and then we're at that point. Clock down to 7. Probably not going to be a good shot again. Jordan just standing there with it. Does not get a shot up. And that's unfortunate. Coach Brooks just puts his hand over the back of his head. You can't have lost possessions when you're trying to be the number 1 team. And that was definitely a lost possession. But still a 59-52 lead, 6:50 left to play. Let's see if they can get another defensive stop against Marian. Cut, shot up, no good this time by Cyrus. Cyrus has not scored the last 5 times she's touched the ball. Prior to this, it's been automatic. Let's see if St. Francis can capitalize on this possession. Dribble lost by Markovic. Just inside the 3, a floater on the baseline is up and good for St. Francis by Acosta, who's had some big buckets today. Largest lead of the day for the Lady Saints, 61-52. Marian trying to go in the post, and an offensive foul against Deja Cyrus, who in the first half did everything right, but especially late in this one seemingly can do nothing right for Marian. 61-52 with 6:12 left, the largest lead of the day for St. Francis. Marian, now we see that full court pressure. St. Francis going to take some time offensively. You don't want to take too much time. You want to have good possessions. And layup, Acosta missed it, and she committed an offensive foul out of frustration. They found her underneath the basket, and she just couldn't finish. With 5:51 left, 61-52. St. Francis over Marian, #1 rated Marian. And Marian has the ball. Sorio all the way to the bucket, layup good. Gritty player, Joanna Sorio, the 5'7" senior out of Portugal. Saints still up, 61-54 with 5:30 left. Gotta have good offensive half-court possessions here. Now they're down to 10 on the shot clock, and you gotta get underway here. Jordan with it, shot fake. Pass on the baseline, shot up, no good that time by Cody Brand. Here comes Marian. Don't have a good feel right now. St. Francis has had opportunities. There's Sorio's 3, rimming up no good. Might not be a bad time for Steve Brooks to get a timeout and get a good offensive possession set up. He does have 4 left. 4:45 left. Shot clock down to 15. St. Francis up 61-54. And they're getting in this trend of trying to run the clock too much. Acosta with it with 8. Way up high they go. Davidson with 3. And a turnover. Marian with it. Third straight possession, St. Francis has not scored after having the lead. You don't want to give Marian too much room for hope. Give and go by Marian, shot up, block, St. Francis with the board. With 4:11 left, they come in the front court, get it ahead. Nice pass, layup missed. Offensive board, and we're going to get a foul called against Marian. Coach Brooks just puts his hands on his head as Cody Brand was fouled, and it'll be the ball underneath the basket with a little bit of time left to play. St. Francis with it, with 4:04 left in the game. And they'll have it underneath their own basket. Looking. And they get it way up top. And almost an over and back. And it's not. St. Francis up 61-54 with 3:56 left. Acosta with it. Go on the baseline. Looking. Shot clock down to 8. Drive to the bucket. Layup up, no good. Tipped. Acosta with it. Finger roll up and in. I'm not sure how she put it in, but she did. St. Francis up 63-54 with 3:28 left. Sorio the drive underneath, out of bounds, and it'll stay with Marian. With 3:20 left. Marian with it. we'll see if they get a bucket, if they call a timeout or not. Sorio on the drive, kicks it in the corner. Dribble drive, stolen away by St. Francis. They have it with 3 minutes left. They're going to run some clock here and try and get a good possession. Dribble drive to the bucket, shot up, offensive foul. Going to be called on Caitlin Allward, wave off the basket, and I think Coach Gord's going to walk out of the gym. He's not happy at all with that call with 2:52 left. And we're going to get a timeout. Marian will step aside here with 2:52 left and a 63-54 lead on the St. Francis University Network. All right, let's see if they can hold on and knock off number one. 2:52 left. St. Francis up 63-54 over number one ranked and defending national champ Marian. It'll be Marian ball to work the floor out of the timeout. Sorio with it in the front court. Sorio dribble drive, kicks it out. On the baseline, shot up by Cyrus, no good. As we said, Cyrus, as effective as Cyrus was in the first half, ineffective here down the stretch, and at some point you have to give St. Francis some credit defensively. St. Francis ball with 2:15 left, up 63-54. Shot clock down to 10. Shot clock down to 5. Jordan on the drive and traveled. Traveling violation against Jordan, and Marian will have it down 63-54 with 2:06 left. Marian with it. Sorio in the front court. Sorio loses the dribble. Get a whistle and a foul against Marian. And that's going to go against Cyrus. Just a tale of two halves here today for Deja Cyrus out of Marian, Indiana. 18 points in the first half and a lot of struggles here, especially late in this game. And that might be foul number 5, I believe, on Cyrus. So her afternoon not going to end how she wanted it to. They get a minute to get a sub in. And they did that. Good to see a lot of buddies here today. Ball in. St. Francis in the front court. Holding the ball. 1:40 left. Up 63-54 over number one ranked Marian. Cut to the basket, and a foul going to be called against Marian. This will be team foul number 5 on Marian, so it's going to be free throw time for St. Francis the rest of the way with 1:36 left. And as we said, just a small sample, but in 2 games, St. Francis just over 50% from the free throw line, but we'll see if Caitlin Allward can reverse that. First one up is good. Saints up 64-54 with 1:36 left. be a huge, huge win in a number of ways for Steve Brooks and company. Second free throw up and good. Substitute in. Nice afternoon today by Caitlin Allward. A little bit of token pressure to slow Marian down. Sorio in the front court. Sorio drive to the basket, shot up, no. Foul on the floor, and it'll be their ball. Marian's underneath with 1:25 left and St. Francis up. Actually, they're going to call it a shooting foul. Break there for Marian, so Sorio over the line. I hate to see that with clock stopped. Free throw up and good. Substitutes in for both teams. St. Francis 4 timeouts left, Marian just 2. Sorio's free throw up and good. Now you're going to see the full court pressure. St. Francis gets it in. And let's see if Marian starts fouling with 1:21 left or not. Jordan with it for St. Francis. Allward with it. Cut, shot up. They're going to say foul before the shot, or do we have a timeout? Timeout taken by Steve Brooks for St. Francis. Just a 30-second timeout. As he took it, they drove to the basket and scored, but better safe than sorry with 4 timeouts left. Wants to have a good possession. 65-56 St. Francis over Marian. St. Francis in the first period was up 17-16. 1:45 mark in the second period. Marian was up 30-28. Marian was up 32-30 at the half. We were tied at 32, 9 minutes left in the third. Tied at 42 with 4:24 left in the third. And after 3, St. Francis was up 53-50. And right now, with 1:11 left, they're up 65-56. As we said, Marian, back-to-back national champions, off to a 2-0 start this season, ranked number 1. St. Francis ranked number 5. But it'd be a great win to get on the slate. And out of bounds is going to be Acosta on that one. She threw it in. Allward fell down, and it went to Acosta, but Acosta still was not in bounds from throwing the inbounds pass. So Marian possession with 1:10 left. A lot of substitutes back and forth. Sarah Corbin back in, junior for Marian out of Mooresville, Indiana. St. Francis is trying to run some clock here. Sorio into the front court, going to go all the way to the basket. Kicks out for a 3. Stolen away by Jordan. Now they'll try and run some clock. I'm sure Marian's going to foul right away, because it's at that point with under a minute left where they have no choice. Mary Jordan will go to the line. Free throw is up and good. Long faces on that Marian bench. As we said in the opening, best time to take on the number 1 team is early in the year. See it all over college basketball. Full timeout taken by Katie Geralds with 53 seconds left, and St. Francis up 67-56 over Marian. For whatever reason, upsets happen early in basketball seasons a lot more because timing not down, rhythm not down, not enough practice time, not enough game continuity. And we'll see if St. Francis can hang on here today. There's times in this game where St. Francis could have let Marian walk away. Late in that first half and early in the third quarter. But then St. Francis fought back, and they've gone toe-to-toe with Marian all afternoon here from Pat Quigley Court and the Sully Center here on the University of St. Francis network. So Marian called that timeout. They'll have it to work the length of the floor under a minute left to play. And we're going to bring you back on the floor and get ready to get underway here with this last 53 seconds. Side out following the timeout for Marian. They just have one timeout left. They get it in, and they're going to have to basically shoot. Sorio long three, no good. Rebound loose on the floor, out of bounds to St. Francis with 46 seconds left. Katie Allward back in. Jordan looks to bring it in. And do we have a timeout? Yes. Coach Brooks calls the timeout for St. Francis. Leading 67-56. So he's down to 2 timeouts left, and Coach Gerald over at Marian Central, which is 1 timeout left. So you know what's going to happen here. St. Francis gets it in. Marian's going to go for the steal. If they do not steal, they will foul immediately. And that'll put St. Francis at the line, or we'll have to see what transpires. And both teams will be back on the floor momentarily here. Finish this one up, and as we said, be a nice way to knock down the #1 ranked team and open up the home portion of your schedule here. Side out will be the ball for Coach Brooks and St. Francis following the timeout. Talking with the official about that right now. Said, hey, I used my timeout. I get it out on the side. Now the officials are talking about it. And that's exactly what Marian did. So a little conversation at the scorer's table. And the official with the ball walking way down to the other end. And they are going to have to take it length of the floor. And Coach Brooks not too happy about that. And St. Francis gets it in. Jordan has it and gets fouled. Go to the line with 42 seconds left. So now you're going to have to make your free throws. Back in is going to be Cody Brand for defense. Once everything gets shook out here. Free throw time coming for Jordan for St. Francis. Free throw up and good. Second free throw up and good. Back the other way comes Marian with 37 left. Sorio down the lane. Sorio shot up, no, but she'll go to the line. With 33 seconds left, and St. Francis up 69-56. So Sorio will go to the line. Sorio. Second one up and good. St. Francis worked the length of the floor. Jordan looks to bring it in, gets it in. St. Francis gets it ahead. And they foul Markovic with 29.4, and St. Francis up 69-58. Free throw time for Markovic for St. Francis. Markovic out of Wheaton, Glenbard South. Free throw up and good. 70 points now for St. Francis. And Coach Gerald has officially waved the white flag, getting her starters out of there. Free throw up and good. 71-58 with 28 seconds left to play. Clock down to 23. This will be a big victory here. Not often you get number one and are able to take them down. Layup up with 13 seconds and good. St. Francis brings it in. I don't think Marian will foul. And that's going to do it. Final score. University of St. Francis women 71, number one ranked Marian 60. So a great job by Coach Brooks and company. St. Francis will move to 2-1 on the year. Get ready for their next game on the 13th against Taylor out of Indiana at 6 o'clock. That's going to wrap things up. Thank you for listening to Lady Saints Basketball, University of St. Francis Athletic Network. Final score once again, St. Francis 71, number one ranked University of Marian 60. I'm Dave Dwyer. So long, everyone.